guys, it's Jake from Team Insanity.
Nick.
And we bought this for a giveaway. Don't worry, we're not throwing this one in a fire because I know a lot of you would be very butthurt if we did. Anyways, so we bought this from Lone Wolf Paintball. They got like the first shipment in for us. They got us the color that we really wanted. So thank you to Lone Wolf. A lot of people ask what fields that we play at. Play at all the Lone Wolf fields, so
Die R-2, by the way.
And so this is
new people.
The R-2 loader. And we actually this is our second take of the video. The first take went really, really, really bad because we couldn't figure out how to get this thing apart, and we'll go into that. So
time to unbox it.
And it's a nice box for all you
people
that care about the box. So first off, you
get the rotor. And then you get your full colored manual. For all those new people out there.
It's a manual.
Yeah, it's a manual. It's got your troubleshooting guide. And then you flip the page. It's full color and everything. It gives you like step by step how to assemble.
Okay, it's a cool manual. Now let's get to what everyone cares about.
And
there's a cool warranty card and a sticker in there. So if you're Jacob, you can put a sticker on your speed feed ramp. But anyways, so this is the Die R2. So upon further inspection, feels nice. It has nice plastic. They definitely didn't cheap out or anything. The lid, or like this part of the 260 part feels kind of, it doesn't feel as cheap as I thought it would, but it just, how it all slides together, ours isn't broken in well. It doesn't feel as nice. Like I feel like I can break it basically.
The plastic feels about the same as the plastic on the speed feed or the lock lid on the Spire.
But the difference is like it just bends and flexes the way that I don't know, but it's fine, I guess.
When we were first trying it, it's definitely easier now than it was when we first got it.
Yeah, when we first got it, this thing, I was playing around with it in my car during break, and it was very, very hard. It took me a while. I had to get my fingernails underneath of it and dig it up. But once you start moving it around, it definitely feels better. It's got a nice lid. Well, we'll go into this last because this is sort of difficult. So basically, to turn it into 260, so if you guys don't know, this is 200, like the original rotor. This is the original rotor, side by side, face up. This looks like an ugly potato in the front. This looks nice and finished, and just looks better, to be honest. And here's the Spire. This is not the Spire 260, it's the normal Spire. I don't know if these are like completely level, but I know the Spire is just like a hair shorter, I believe. And my Z2, which the Z2 definitely doesn't feel like it has nearly as good of a build quality as the rotor. It definitely feels flimsy. So, to make your rotor R2 260, you take it and move it to the side where it says 200 to 260.
There's little instructions on there, by the way. I
kept on going and moving it to the unlock position and ripping it up, so don't do that. So it moves up and now it's in the 260 mode.
For those new players out there, 200, like most hoppers hold 200 paintballs. When they say 260, that means it can hold 260 paintballs, and that 260 paintballs makes a difference. So that extra 60 will make a big difference.
It really actually does, especially when you're playing at your end of the game. It really does make a difference, and when you're running down the field, it makes it lasts a difference. Now, upon further inspection, was when Jacob was playing with his rotor, he took it and propped it up. And so if you guys have an original rotor just laying around in your house, what I personally recommend is, if you're a little redneck, take some clear Scotch packing tape and tape all the way around, and you have yourself a Die R 1.5.
/ Scotch.
So, whoever created this for the Die was just like, oh bro, that'd be really cool. You see how this sits up like that? Let's just put some plastic there. I mean, that's really what it is, honestly.
So this is the blue and cyan color combo.
Looks sexy.
And honestly, I think it's the best looking one out of the options.
The neon green or yellow one looked semi-cool, but but anyway, so like I said, this is our second take at it, because when we went to go take it apart the first time, it didn't go, so we sat down on the couch for like 10 minutes trying to figure it out. So if you're a younger player and you don't know much, yeah, you're definitely going to want to figure out how to
I will say if you're...
Go to your pro shop and have them show you.
If you're a younger guy and you get this, you might have difficulties at first trying to get the lid up to the 260 mode.
Because it is definitely difficult. But basically, there's these two little pins on the inside, and what it does is it runs on the stack right here. It's sort of like basically any toolless bolt, like the DMs or the Vanquishes or the Axes, how you have to maneuver it in a certain way. So to put the lid back on, we'll show you back in a second, but what you do is you just take this to the side and you cram it back down on top of it. So that way, you have to make sure that it's on the side so it slides back down on the side. So Nick is going to show you how to take this part apart. Remember, this isn't our first time taking it apart, it's our second time taking it apart. The first time went terribly wrong and we sat down and had to read the manual because we weren't men. We were women, like IKEA.
Alright, so basically, getting into it, there's these two red tabs on either side of the ramp. You have to slide those forward or towards the back of the hopper, towards the buttons. So do that real quick. You gotta make sure they're all the way back, because what those red tabs actually do is they go over the top of the bottom of the tray, so it doesn't allow it to flop up. So if you forget to lock this or these break or something, that won't let it flop up. Next, what you gotta do is this red button in the back, you gotta slide it all the way up, which will unlock these two black tabs on either side. Now, doing that, it takes a minute because you have to like push with both fingers on both sides.
I just took apart that rotor way faster.
Anyways, you have to push with these on these black tabs with your thumbs at the same time and pull up. That's a little tricky at first. I had to sit down and do it, so I'm going to try that again. There we go. Once you do it a couple times, it becomes easy. So you prop this up and you pull it back, and it pops out of the front half where it slides in and locks it. This is also where you lock the lid back on.
So basically, long story short, what Nick was basically saying is that this rotor is a lot easier to take apart. And it really is, because you just saw it. It's in terms, all it is that you just flip this up and there's these two tabs, you move them to the side and you can take everything apart minus those gears. So my first impressions personally is I like how you disassemble this rotor a little bit more, but that might change. Now I'm going to take out this part. So
what I'm fancy about is they color comboed that to the blue. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not.
No, that's not. That's with all the rotors. So these are only blue. Oh. But anyways, so doing a quick glance, and to be honest, these black parts are completely the same. That's exactly the same.
No, it's not.
It's just a different circumference. No, it's the same. It's exactly the same.
It doesn't fit in though.
It's just a different. It's just a little bit different of a circumference.
You can't use your old R2 or your old.
Dude, it's exactly the same. Look at. Try to fit it in again. If it fits, it ships. It's the same.
No, it's not. I don't want to force it. Yeah, it's not the same. This is a little bit bigger.
So, and this is the difference in the little rotary thingy. Forgot the name of them, but the only like noticeable difference is this little tab right here. That's the only difference in these that I really notice. That and that this one is a better color. But that's just me. So what we're gonna do now, Dye said that they made it. Now if you guys know, Dye, oh wait, hold on. Take it all apart. The nice thing is that when I had a rotor, I had a problem with when I threw it in the pool. If you guys remember that, I threw it in Jacob's pool and we played football with it for like 30 minutes in the pool. The motor got like funky and did some things, and it was like sort of a pain to take it all apart. So what they did was they used the tab system sort of like in this rotor to keep the gears in, but they used the tab system to keep the motor in. So what you do is you move those two tabs to the side, and now instead of having to get your screwdriver and everything out, here's your whole entire motor, which is really cool. It'll make it a lot easier in terms of teching purposes. And what I noticed when I was taking it apart is that the anti-jam, when you're putting it back in, this has to be faced up. Okay, don't make it down or else your anti-jam won't work, which you'll need in a rotor. Which, I don't know if you're actually going to need it in this rotor or not, but the last rotor definitely had semi-issues with jamming. These Jacobs and Doug's and mine and DJ's. Who else owns a rotor that we know? Dominic had a rotor that jammed.
I think James had one too.
James, yeah. Basically every rotor that we've ever come in contact with has jammed on us. So they said that they fixed it. We'll see. We'll get some way bad paint this summer, and I'll do like a big test. Here's another battery.
We're missing one.
Oh, we are? No, there it is. Oh. So we're going to put batteries in this bad boy and run it for the first time. Put it back together. It's on. Okay. That goes in first. Yeah. There we go.
I like how that pops
That
into place. Yeah, it does. I like how it actually like snaps into place when you're locking the rotor back in.
Where's our thingy?
Also, if you're worrying about your anti-jam not having any lock system on it, when you put the tray back in, it actually holds it and stops it from coming back.
Another cool thing is that if you guys don't know, wait, keep that, is with the spires, that you'll notice is that there's no tray. You have to pay extra for the tray, which I highly dislike. With the rotors, with all the rotors, you get a tray. So basically what that means is, for you people that don't know, is when you're feeding paint, your last few paintballs are slowly going to fall up and go into, you know, get loaded into the gun, or get loaded into the breech of the gun.
Right here.
This doesn't have that. You have to pay, I think they're like $15, $10 separate, and you have to install them, which the thing is that really grinds my gears is Virtue knew that they were going to come out with one eventually because they had it already like pre-made. I don't know why. They just wanted more money to get out of it, which I didn't agree with. Dye puts that in, but considering that it's $250 or whatever brand new, you sure as hell better get one.
Alright, I'm going to go into reinstalling your lid. You want to make sure this is the back red tab is all the way up still, so you don't have, so you're not going to snap any plastic. You want to make sure these two red tabs are pulled towards the back all the way, so you don't again snap your plastic. Slide in the front, push it in the side, and you want to make sure you get the sides inside of the bottom half of the rotor. Then you're going to want to pull that red tab and slide it back down, which will lock those black tabs forward, and then you want to take these these red tabs on both sides and pull them forward, which locks the rest of the lid in.
We're definitely not dye techs, and this is, like I said, our second time totally doing this. So it's not necessarily the easiest, and to put this back on, I want to do this part because I got to play with this for a while, and I don't like this. This is what grinds my gears the most about it, is that this is when it feels really cheap. So you have to take this,
hook it in.
You have to put this to the unlock system, and I know you have to sort of line it up, and it doesn't always work right all the time. Okay, and you can kind of hear it like sort of cracking and doing some weird things. You have to like take these and like pinch the sides of these, which is really sketchy because I feel like I'm gonna break it, and then push it down. And there you go. And then just to go back again to show you, 260, take it, use your muscles, it's bicep day, and you do that.
If you're
the same thing, move it down.
If you're a younger player, you might struggle with that again.
Okay, so.
Now we're gonna do regular paint though.
I'm not gonna do the other paint, it's not worth it. Alright, so, hold on, I just want to go to the 260 view so you guys can see. Here, let's do this. I'm just gonna go to the 260 thing so you guys can like see it. I don't know if it popcorns or whatever you guys want to see.
Dye just released their speed feed for it too.
Yeah, woohoo. Alright.
Which is expensive.
Move the powder, there you go. And, first pod. As you can tell, it starts doing that beeping thing to tell you that you're getting low on paint. And I'm not sure if you can like...
It's not full 260.
Turn it off. Wait, what does this button do?
I don't know.
I'm still figuring this thing out, but I'm trying to figure out if... I'm hoping that button turns that off, because if you're a pump player, sometimes you get down to your last few balls and you don't want to get down to your last 20 balls and every pump you hear beep, 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 beep. So that would get really annoying. That's something to think about. I don't really know. We'll read about it in the manual. But like I said, we're not dye techs. This isn't paintball extravaganza. We're just dudes that just bought this and we're giving you our first impressions on it. So overall, Nick, what do you have to say?
Compared to the other rotor, I rate it 9 out of 10.
I say compared to the other rotor, I rate it a 5 out of 10. And that's just not because I don't like the rotors, but just plain and simple. If considering the price that this is at, like $250, and I'll go into the review. I'll go into all of that in the review. And this is a lot less. You're getting the same exact thing. As you guys saw us take it apart, the only difference that you're not getting with this rotor is the 260 capability. Other than that, and the cool lid, which I'll show you right here, right now. But other than that, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. Other than that, there's not really like a ton of stuff that they changed. Nope, you're doing it wrong. So, Nick brought me to what I wanted to do, what I was just fooling with. This lid has a little button thing. You pull it, and the pins will come out. And how you put it back in is like there's this little tab thing that keeps it going. There's this little lip on the very far back edge of it. You have to take that tab, put it in there, pull the button back, and I'm still like trying to figure out how to do it right. I just got lucky once, and you just slide it in and close the lid. So yeah. Anyways, that's the Dye R-2. We'll be giving this thing away eventually in the future. So giveaway coming soon. Don't ask when, because we don't know yet. And yeah, bye.